Hi, and welcome to the Adjustable Cabinet. Our Human Factors Design Group consists of Jacob Bally, Trevor Dicio, and Ryan Lincoln.
Our product is an adjustable cabinet with 3 separate exchangeable shelves. These shelves come in 3 varieties: the flat open shelf, which is standard, the closed bin shelf to prevent things from falling down, and the partition shelf, which has dividers in the middle to separate items. The cabinet is attached to the walls through stainless steel brackets. It is operated with a crank near the bottom that uses pulleys and wires to raise and lower the shelf. It can be installed in your kitchen so that the shelf is at counter level when fully lowered. When you crank it up, it allows for room under the cabinet for counter space.
Shown on this slide is the final design that we decided on with our group. The 3 views show each side of the product, and the isometric view shows how the adjustable shelf would look when mounted onto a wall. The measurements associated with the dimensions are in inches. There are a few human factors concerns with the way current cabinets are designed. One of that is that you would have to lift items above your head to reach the top shelf, and this could pose a risk of back injury by straining yourself, and this could also just be a difficult task for some people to complete. If they're too short or if they're in a wheelchair, it'll be nearly impossible to reach the top levels of a cabinet. And also, current adjustable shelves on the market require manual movement of the shelf, and it could be difficult to reach above the shoulders and pull the shelf down. Some other issues that current cabinets have is that the shelves have limited functionality, and like we mentioned before, the fixed height means that some users cannot reach the top of the shelf.
There are a series of human factors concerns that are associated with the adjustable cabinet. Placing the shelves requires knowledge of how the shelves fit into their holders. This will need to be explained in an instruction manual to solve the human factors concerns. In the design of everyday things, Don Norman talks about the importance of having the user having the knowledge to know how to use the product. Without it, it is associated with a poor design instead of blaming the user. Moving the shelves up and down is the next main human factors concern. Because we decided to go with a manual hand crank instead of an automated hand crank to cut the cost of the overall product, the adjustable shelf does require a certain amount of strength associated with the product. We optimized the hand crank to make sure that it is the minimal amount of strength needed to operate the lever so that all ages of people will be able to use the adjustable shelf. The crank helps minimize the grip strength required because it is circular motion instead of a direct up or down motion. Relating to this, the weight of these that is associated with the product plays a role in the human factors designed. Depending on how many items are on the shelves, this could again make the shelves harder to move. It is important that the manufacturer informs the user that there is a weight limit associated with each individual shelf to ensure that the product is safe. Furthermore, the shelf assembly relates to the human factors design. The less pieces that are required to build the product makes it easier to assemble. Making the material of the shelf ABS plastic as opposed to wood or metal makes the shelf lighter and easier to mount.
Manufacturing and materials. There are 3 parts to the adjustable cabinet. The cabinet frame is made out of wood because it is cheap and appealing to the eye. The wooden cabinet frame is made from cutting and sawing the wood pieces. Finishing the wood with a chrome coating is important for smooth surfaces. The shelves themselves are made from ABS plastic. We chose to extrude these parts for the flat shelf because it has the same cross-sectional area. Blow molding for the bin because it is hollow, and it is cheaper than the injection molding for the partition shelf. The brackets are made from aluminum and manufactured through extrusion because they too have the same cross-sectional area.
During our market analysis, we found similar products. These products required manual movement, whereas our redesign will be controlled by a crank. This crank will be much easier and safer to use than manually adjusting a shelf, like the current competitors on the market. Also, the cabinets on the market currently are smaller than our redesign. Our redesigned cabinet will be bigger and will be able to hold more items than those currently on the market. An additional feature of our cabinet will be exchangeable shelves. There will be a flat shelf, a shelf that is like a bin, and a shelf that has multiple sections to it. The current adjustable shelves for sale are in the price range of $60 to $80 and are sold at most major retailers. Our group believes that we can make our redesigned cabinet for a similar cost.
There were a lot of things that we learned during this process of the product design labs in relation to what we learned in class. Through the 5 product design labs, we learned that there are multiple steps to be able to maximize the usability of the product. The engineer has to think logically as an engineer to make the best possible product, but also as the user to make sure that the product is as user-friendly as possible. As explained in the use of everyday things, the product must be aesthetically pleasing to ensure the marketability of the product so that the customer wants to buy it. Rushing the design process will only lead to missing possible aspects of the design that will end up benefiting the product. Another part of these design labs that we learned along with the class was the importance of human factors. Focusing on the human factors of the product is important because it makes sure the product is safe, practical, and is able to be used by as wide of a range of people as possible. Lastly, the execution of teamwork is almost directly related to the success of the product. It is necessary that everyone on the design team is on the same page so that the product can be made as efficiently and within the given time constraints. Also, the thoughtful discussion of the group helps maximize the possible ideas, which in turn leads to a product that has been designed considering all aspects of the best possible product.